Hello, and welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann, and I love to design and make things. I also love to share the joy of creativity with you on PEG TV. So today's craft project are little Christmas trees, or holiday trees, as you wish. Now, the legend of how the Christmas tree came to the U.S. is intriguing to me. In the 1500s in Germany, they were celebrating with using a small evergreen tree. Fast forward a few hundred years to England, and a very popular queen, Victoria, married a German prince, Albert, and she adopted the tradition of a little Christmas tree. The idea became very popular and spread to the US, and that's the legend of how it came to the US. Now, ours are paper. You can use office paper. This had a letter on it. I just flipped it over and used markers. You could use crayons. Just sort of really randomly drew on the paper. This little tree is made from a grocery bag. And this is such good quality paper. And if you like doing a natural theme, natural colors, pine cones, things like that, that can be very nice. This crazy tree was a label. And it wasn't glued on. I thought, let's see what that looks like. It's pretty wild. This is recycled gift paper, which I love to work with. And you can use construction paper or origami paper, just anything like that. So all you need is some paper and a pair of scissors. No glue is needed for this. The first step is to make a square. We need to start with a square. Now, this is probably the most popular size. So there's a very easy way to make a square here. What we do is lay this flat on the table and then pick up one corner, any corner, and pull it up so that this edge touches the top edge. And we're going to make sure that the point is centered on the left, and then just bring this down like this. A nice crease. Creases are very useful. And you can either draw a line with a pencil, which is very handy, or just hold it securely and cut near the edge as close as possible with a pair of scissors. And that is a handy way of making a pretty good square. I'll open this up and you'll see it made a square. So there you go, that's a square. Now that size made most of these trees, that's sort of medium size. But I'm working with gift wrap paper because I want to make a larger one because it might be easier for you to see all the steps. And because this paper had little squares marked on the back, it was very easy. This is a 12-inch square. I'm going to move these away a little bit. Okay. So the first thing I want to do with this paper, it has a right side, which is the top, and a wrong side. So this will help you know how to use it if you want to use gift wrap paper or anything that has two sides. The first step is to make the square, is to fold up the square so the points are touching at the top. And we bring fingers down and then crease it to each corner like that. So we now have a triangle. Now we're going to keep the right side up, move this around, and bring up this point to the top. And matching the points as well as you can, press down here and crease it left and right. Okay, now we're going to open it. So that's still the right side. Now this is important. We flip it over. It doesn't matter what color paper you have. This is important. We poke that down. And now we're going to fold it in half this way. So the points are touching and the edges are touching. Again, we give it a nice crease on the bottom. Creasing is really good because those are guidelines. Now we're going to open it up, turn this around, and make a crease the other way. We are matching these edges, these little points. Again, crease it here, left and right. Now this is the wrong side. You'll see we have a plus and also an X. That's perfect. Now we still leave it right side down, but we're going to turn it around a little bit. And you'll see the corners are poking up. So we take two opposite corners, either one, and just bring them together. And now we're going to bring them together and bring them down to touch the point at the bottom. Sometimes it's a little tricky. And we're going to fold this over like this, so it makes a nice square. Now it's a square that has a crease in the middle. This is a center line, and that is a very useful guide that we're going to be using. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 folds, and each of these little trees has 8 folds. So this technique is very clever. This is like origami to start, but when we use the scissors, it stops being origami. So the first step is to take one side and fold it so this edge meets the center line. Now I hope you can see that. When you're making this, you will be able to see that, especially if you make a nice crease. Now I'm going to do the other side. I just pick up the top layer and fold this over to meet the center line like that, and then press it down with your finger. Now you can see this is starting to look like a Christmas tree. This top part is the top of the tree. So I'm going to place that down. Now we want to do that on the other side, so I'll just flip it over and take one side, and taking care to make sure it points nicely at the top. Bring this to the center line and give that a good crease. And now we're going to bring the other side over to meet it and to give it a good crease. And that's important. Now it looks like an upside down kite. So what we're going to do is we don't need this bottom section. This is when scissors first come in. So we're just going to cut this off. We don't need this. Okay. Now we still have 4 folds. We want 8 folds. But it is looking more like a Christmas tree. Okay, we're going to place it down again. Now hold one side down. Doesn't matter if you start left or right. Fold this open, this top part. And then see where this little point is? We're going to poke a finger or 2 or 3 in there to open this up. And this crease is going to fold over here, and you'll see it just works sort of well. It's one of those things that's easier to do than to say, probably. And fold this down like this. And you can see, give it a good crease, and then fold this back over to where it was on that side. Now I'm going to show you, that made 2 folds for the Christmas tree. So now we have 3 on this side. We're going to keep on going. Now we're going to do the other side. Open it up, and then where the crease is, where that point is, we're going to bring that all the way over. So stick a finger inside, or a pencil, whatever you need to do it, and bring that over like this. And then crease it. And then fold that back over like that. And again, we're giving it a good crease because we're making sure that it all works together. Okay, now we have 3 folds on each side. So what we're going to do is flip it over and repeat the same process. Going to open this up, and this crease right here is going to go all the way over here. Stick a finger in there. And remember, you can replay this program as often as you like to get the hang of it. It might take a try or two. See, it does sort of naturally go in that direction. Crease it again, and then fold this back like it was. Lots and lots of creasing, that is the secret. Okay, we have one more to go. I'm going to open this up. Again, this crease right here, we want to move it over here. So we stick a finger in, or whatever you want to stick in there. Chopstick, I don't know. And bring this over like that. And press it down. And crease this all. Like that. We'll crease the middle too. And we're going to bring this flap back. And again, endless creasing here. Now if I did this right, we have 4 on this side and 4 folds on that side. We have the 8 that we need to make the Christmas tree. Now the next step is to make these little branches. So here's how we do it. We take a pair of scissors, and this is the center line that we just want to keep uncut. About an inch up, or however you want. We cut about halfway from the edge to the center line. And then we go up about another inch, depending on how big your tree is, about halfway to the center line. And then do one more, about halfway to the center line. Now we want to repeat this on the other side, so I'm going to just twist it like this. And you don't need to mark this, just eyeball it, and it'll be just fine. Make another line, about the same as the other one, halfway to the center. Another cut, about halfway to the center. And the last cut, 3 altogether, is about halfway to the center. Now we place this down like this, and you can see a Christmas tree start to form. So we take one layer. They will tend to stick together because they're cut together. And take this top corner and fold it down like that. Another good crease. You can do it from the top to the bottom to the top, any way you like. Another crease, and then another crease. So there's one side done. So we're just going to turn this over like this and keep on going on this side. So we make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom, one layer, the top corner, and fold it down. And I'm trying to make this one a point. Take that one and fold it. Okay, we have 2 done. We have 2 more to go on this side. Keep holding it down on the opposite side. Take this top corner and fold it down. Do all 3 of them. Kind of fun, very repetitive. Once you get the hang of this, you will be quick, if you want to be. And then the last side, that top corner goes down, folding it down, and then fold that last one on this side down to the point. And now turn these over to that side, back to where they were. You can flip it over and do it with the same hand. And then at this point, you sort of open it up and open it out. And there you have a little Christmas tree. So I hope you enjoy making your trees. You could do a whole forest if you want for a table or a side table or a windowsill or even just one tree to put somewhere. And I hope you enjoy making them. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. Snow is starting to come down from the mountaintops, and that blanket of white is made of tiny, gorgeous, little hexagonal snowflakes. They have 6 sides. Have you ever seen one on your sleeve? I have a couple of times, and it's just an absolute joy. Now, the amazing thing is, in 1885, for the first time in the whole world, a Vermonter named Wilson Bentley took a microscope and a camera and photographed snowflakes. And these are pictures of his work. I'm just amazed. This is remarkable. The first person in the world is from Vermont. Clever guy. Now, this book is available at the library, and it's just good for reference if you want to draw your own snowflake. Because today, I'll show you how to make snowflake window clings. We need a piece of plastic. I just use a Ziploc bag. This is a snack pack. I just cut off the edge. And the one I'll use today. I like using smaller ones because I feel with this big bag, I could have smudged it, because we can move these around when we're working. So I just cut off the edge because that can get in our way as we're doing this. So using this book, actually, I just traced 2 little snowflakes, simplified. So I'm going to, here's a great way to make it. Stick it inside the bag and then leave a little bit out so we can tape this. And what that allows us to do, just tape that down, it lets us move this, because we might want to move it to do different lines there. Remember, snowflakes, real snowflakes have 6 sides, hexagonal. Now there is artistic license, and some people draw them with 8, which is fine, your choice. I do prefer the 6 sides. Now the paint we're using is 3D puffy paint. I tried white glue, and I really wasn't happy with it. It sort of spread, and then it became sort of brittle. So I'm going to attempt to do this on TV, PEG TV, and hope it works. So the first thing you want to do is to test this paint and make sure it comes out pretty well, because there might be a few blobs. If that happens, leave it. It's very hard to correct. So I'm going to start to do this. You can do this any way you like. Just lay down a line like this. Now I'm going to make all the long lines first, but you can do it any way you like. You might want to do each one separately, maybe like this. See a little blob happened, we're going to leave it, because it's really impossible to correct. So I've got 4 lines. Now I'm going to do these little triangles. And this is pretty thick paint. So does that look like a triangle? Not sure. Just keep on going. And that one turned out really thick. Somehow, even if the line is less than perfect, mine are less than perfect, they still look pretty when they're peeled off. Now after you do these, you want to let them dry 48 hours. That's 2 days. It's really important that you let them dry. I'm going to do a dot at each end. See, I'm just doing this in random order. Dot there. Almost finished. And you can also, if you find that the line is thicker than you thought it would be and you can't see all the design elements, you can just leave it nice and simple. So that's it. Now that has to dry, as I said, 2 days, no cheating allowed. And then when it's really, really dry, I recommend putting it in the freezer for a few minutes, or maybe even the refrigerator, and then you'll see it'll just pop right off. But do it gently, just to make sure it doesn't break, and then stick it on the window. I did one already, and it really stuck very well. So have fun making your snowflake window clings, and happy snow outdoor sports, lots of fun ahead, indoors and outdoors. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. New Year's Eve is fascinating because at the stroke of midnight, in 1 second, becomes a new year. So let's ring in the new year with a little pretty, festive noisemaker. It could be any colors you like, ribbon, gold and white, or multicolor with gold, or a rainbow, and the ring is made out of a pipe cleaner. So I'll show you how to do it. We need a bell or 2 or 3. We need a ring. This is from a craft store. Now I'm going to make a ring. You might wonder what this can is doing. It's 2.5 inches across, and that makes almost a 3-inch ring. So you just place it around if you want to do this, and then twist it. Take it off. Hopefully it comes off. And then wrap these ends around the edge like this. And this makes a very good ring. It's almost 3 inches. So if you have anything that's about the right size, you can use that if you want to use a pipe cleaner to make a ring. Okay, there, all the ends are under. Now, the ribbons that I'm using are 18 inches long. That's half a yard. And usually you have to buy ribbon, well, buy the roll, but if you want to buy a yard, this makes 2 ribbons. So the first step is choose the ribbons you want to use. They can be any color combination you like. Now I'm choosing blue and white, slightly different shades. And I did find a few bells that are blue, but they have very tiny holes. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm going to use this cord to tie them on. So now that I have all the ribbons in order, I'll take the ring, I'll take the first ribbon, and I'll fold it in half. This is how I like to do it. But they don't have to be even. They can be long and short if you like, and it can be a mix. There are a lot of options. So make a loop, and then feed these ends through the loop, like this, and then give it a tug. And this makes a nice looking edge, and it's not strong enough to stay like that, so what I'm going to do is just make a knot. Just a knot. Now if the ribbon is really slippery, we'll do a double knot, but so far so good. Now I'll take the next ribbon. Again, so I make a loop at the top, slide it under the ring like that, and then put the ends through. Now this is a slippery ribbon. So what I'm going to do is make a square knot. And it's always good to know what a square knot is too. So that means you take the right side over the left and twist it under and tie it. Now we're going to take the left side and place it over and under the hole and tie it. A square knot is really good and tight. So if the ribbon is slippery, that's a good idea. Now this skinny cord I'm using because I want to put this bell on. So the first thing I'll do is make this little loop and attach it like that. Put the ends, pull the ends through. And you'll see they might not be exactly the same end. I think it's fine. Now I'm going to slide a bell on. Hopefully I might have to cut the end here to make a nice sharp end. If you ever have trouble, a little bit of nail polish might also be needed. And now I'm going to tie a square knot right over left and left over right, because I think this cord is going to undo very easily. And I'll just keep on going. I'll do the next ribbon. I have quite a few ribbons here. Put the ends together to make that little loop. Put the loop underneath. Whoops. And slide the ends through. And give it a little tug. Now this is another slippery ribbon. So again, I'm going to make I think just one knot. Might be okay. But you can always make a square knot. Here's the middle ribbon. You've got the idea, a loop. And then pull that through. Now you always want to make at least one knot, because they do come apart when you're jingling. And I'll just keep on going. I like to recycle ribbons like from a gift. I just save them, and I actually find a use for them. And these ribbons right here, some of them are from a gift. I'll make a knot, right over left. I think I'll make a square knot. Left over right, tie it. And I'm going to squeeze these together a little bit. And then one more white one, and then we get to the cord again. So make a loop and pull the ribbons through the loop. Nice and snug. And then I will do a square knot. You've got it by now, right over left, left ribbon over right. I learned this when I was a kid and never forgot it because it's really useful. And then I come to the cord again. So again, same thing, make a loop, put it inside the ring, pull the ends through, and pull it snug. And then hopefully, I probably will might as well just, sometimes when the end is fuzzy, it's really hard to put it through the hole. So it helps to cut it if you have to. And then I would definitely do a square knot, right hand over left, and left over right. And I have two more. It's looking pretty good. This is definitely a recycle one because it has a little knot. Put the loop inside the ring, bring the ends through, pull it nice and snug. And this one this is not a slippery one, so I'll just do one knot, although I could be really safe and make a square knot. And then the last ribbon, and you don't have to put this many on, I just wanted to do it. You can just and you can make the ribbons much shorter if you like. So there it is, there's blue and white, which has a really nice winter look to it. So depending on what you'd like to make, you can ring in the new year. So, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy making your own noisemakers and newsmakers. Bye-bye.